Good afternoon, everyone. As you saw from my earlier Twitter post, I have just received a brand new knife that I'm really excited to use. I am just going to do a quick demonstration and explanation around what I think about the knife as well as how well it handles. I am no means a knife expert. I'm someone who cooks for myself and others frequently, almost 5 times a week, and I just like to try very hard to explain why I enjoy certain products. If you want a really thorough, in-depth explanation about knives and what you should consider buying and the differences, Will Griffin does an amazing video on Epicurious's YouTube channel. Fantastic video. If you're a bit uncomfortable with sharp blades and certain actions, I'd be careful if you're squeamish. However, it's a great instructional video, so I suggest you watch that. But I'm just going to get right down to it. This box has been one of my favorite knives to ever open. It's such a good user experience when you first open it up. Inside the box, it's time to start cooking. You've got Misen with good branding, and I gotta say I'm pretty proud. They've done some really solid work on social, and big shout outs to My Chemically Imbalanced Romance for pointing out that I believe Misen stands for Mise Plus. And, you know, sure enough, I didn't read the back of the box because I'm an idiot, and that's exactly what it means. And they're a fantastic company so far. They've been very kind, and I like what they're doing. So, like I said, opening this box is as fun as opening up a new console, but I'm a big knife fan. But if you take a look, I mean, that's a really nice experience, and not many knife companies take this time to really give you some of the more nuances of opening up a new toy like this. But I'm gonna give this a quick rinse. But off the bat, I gotta say, I love the way the handle feels. It feels light, however balanced. Right now, when it comes down to just being able to work, you want a knife that feels good in the hand. Listen, this knife is going to be very sharp. It's out of the box. It makes sense. Most blades are, but you can take any knife that you're comfortable with right down to an amazing sharpening level. But this knife is, in particular, a great price. I think this is right now under 80 bucks. I got this for 60, and there have been so many blades that go to 120, 140, 150 that when it comes down to it, it's all about proper utility. And if you're comfortable with the way the handle is, which, man, that's freaking smooth, and being able to maneuver in different areas, then yeah, you want a good knife. I'll be 100% honest with you guys, because I'm actually just going to keep working and not explain what I'm doing. This isn't a fucking cooking show. But I am somebody who has close to, I hate to admit it, $8,000 worth of knives in my house, and I like to get more. There's no reason for me to have a new knife, but I did want to at least give folks who need some proper, I'd say, advice on getting something that's good for the value. And so far, in this quick explanation, I feel really good about the way this pulls. Right now, it's got a nice belly. It's not too fat on the other side, so I can still roll the blade really easily, but just being able to maneuver is really flawless. Like, that feels really good. So I'm going to keep on moving to different items. I know one very popular test that people enjoy doing for some strange reason is the tomato challenge, where they'll place a tomato and cut it with one hand. While very fun to look at in social, it's not a very functional way to cut tomatoes, so I'm not going to do that, I'm sorry. Because like I said, the knife will be able to easily do so, but that's not a very effective way. But if I'm being very upfront, so far, what I'm impressed with is just how straight the cuts really do come out. This feels like a really stable blade. And yeah, it's going through things like butter. Like I mentioned, I feel like this knife will really show its colors in the first 60 days of use. And like I said, I cook almost every single day, but this does feel pretty damn good. And it's also, you know, easier to clean. You don't have any of those particular traps that some knives have that have certain indents or areas where grime and filth can get in there. This is one clean blade. So I think I have a potato that I could easily just kind of break down really fast, just to kind of show you the more, I guess, unsaid aspects of good knives. But if I quickly just show you why I'm enjoying this so far, because it does feel good, just being able to drag the tip of my blade so easily, This is the kind of knife that's reminding me of Shun or Woosoft, where I can be really consistent. That feels really good. Like, I don't really have to do as much work, and that's not just the sharpness talking, it's just the way the blade feels in my hand, and I feel like I have a lot of control over everything I'm doing. And like I mentioned, it's really easy to stay quite straight. I know it's not really easy to tell here because I'm moving it, but I mean, that feels good to me, and that's all that matters. Pun. So, I guess what I'll quickly do is, the onion test, which I'm not going to go too crazy fast. I don't think me cutting an onion quickly is going to be very helpful to people who are trying to make a buying decision. Lots of pro chefs out there go crazy quick and they do all these things that, I mean, yes, it's impressive, but this knife is for somebody who doesn't want to spend a lot, wants something really good, and I highly doubt that they're going to be cutting at these lightning fast speeds. So, don't go too crazy, please, when you're cutting. Safety first, you're not in a rush. But if I do the onion test, which, just going to feel out how to cut this down the right way. Where am I? Okay. So, quick check. Ooh, yeah. That does feel good. Yeah, I like that. All right. And then one more. Yeah. Like, it really is easy to go all the way to the bottom. Like I said, I'm doing the roll, I'm doing the rock. This feels really nice. I'm not surprised at all that it's got this sharpness, but like I mentioned, this really feels good in my hands. And at the price, listen, I've spent upwards of $300-400 on one knife. This is so, like I said, for under $100, this is actually not a bad deal whatsoever. While I'm not yet sponsored by Misen, happy to talk about the products that they've been pushing out. Anybody who's got really good standards for culinary practices is good in my book, and I'm going to keep using this for the next 30 to 60 days. I'll come back and say whether or not it's not only held its edge, but it's held its quality, and if it still feels good. But, looking at this day one for the price of this knife, I'm in. And that's it. Have a good day.